test, mic, hello, test. Hello, hello, test.
give it up for Rashid one more time. We would now like to invite Alex and Lev up on stage.
Thank you for that beautiful performance, Lev, Alex, and Rashid. Can we have a round of applause for the musicians at Raffles World Academy? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and our brilliant young minds. Welcome to the highly anticipated TEDxRWA Youth 2023 event. This endeavor was made possible through the collaborative efforts of the RWA community. And among us today, I'm honored to stand as the organizer of this year's TEDx event, an initiative that advocates ideas that are worth spreading. I'm Vatsal Piyush Shah, and alongside the guidance of our esteemed Vice Principal, Dr. Armina Tabassum, we have orchestrated a captivating lineup of speakers, blending voices from our school grounds with insights from industry experts. Before we embark on this enriching journey, let us welcome Dr. Tabassum as she delivers the opening remarks.
Thank you, Vatsal. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and our esteemed speakers. I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome you all to our inaugural TEDxRWA youth event. It is an honor to stand in front of you as the co-organizer of this special gathering, celebrating ideas worth spreading. Thank you for joining us on this remarkable journey of exploration and inspiration. Our theme of today's event is the gift that cannot be seen, a theme that resonates deeply in our current world. We believe that within each of us there exists an incredible array of hidden talents, strengths, and potential waiting to be uncovered. It is a testament to the human spirit's resilience, the ability to adapt and grow in the face of adversity, that enables us to discover these gifts even in the most challenging circumstances. Today, we are fortunate to feature an outstanding roster of speakers, encompassing members of our student body, young individuals that we are very proud of, and experts hailing from our wider community. They will graciously share their stories and insights, providing valuable perspectives on the personal journeys of resilience and self-discovery. Through their talks, we hope to ignite a spark in all of us, reminding us that we are capable of achieving greatness, even when we cannot see the path ahead. Unfortunately, one of our speakers, Mr. Subhashis Karmakar, a senior physiotherapist, is unable to join us this evening due to a medical emergency. At this point of time, he is in the operation theater, so he sent his apologies. I would like to take a moment to extend my deepest gratitude to the driving force behind the event, our chief organizer, Vatsal Shah. Vatsal's unwavering dedication, countless sleepless nights, and tireless efforts behind the scenes have brought this event to life. Without his commitment, today would not be possible. Vatsal, your hard work, determination have been truly remarkable. I think that deserves another round of applause. As his co-organizer, my role has been to support and guide him. And as an educator, that is my role. And I can say with confidence that Vatsal's leadership and passion have made my job an absolute pleasure and my vision to hold this event in this fantastic auditorium a reality. I also would like to thank our proud partners and our sponsors, our own InnoVentures Education. We have amongst us our esteemed CEO, Mrs. Bujani, who has supported us in every step of the way. Thank you, Mrs. Bujani, for your support, time, and encouragement. A huge thank you to our radio partner, Talk 100.3, who gave Vatsal and I an opportunity to go live on air and share our thoughts about the event and the aim behind holding this event. Thank you to, yep, it deserves a round of applause. Thank you to Mohanjo Foundation, our official NGO partner, for all their support with our promotional materials. A huge thank you to our admin support team led by Mr. Vikrant Sharma and our tech team, Mr. Uttam Yadav, deserves a big round of applause here. Mr. Solomon, Mr. John, Mr. Danry for their fantastic support all throughout the last few weeks. Thank you, guys. So once again, welcome to TEDxRWA Youth. Let's open our minds and hearts to the incredible stories and ideas that will be shared this evening. Let's embark on a journey of self-discovery and resilience together as we explore the gift that cannot be seen. Thank you for being a part of this remarkable event, and let's make today truly unforgettable. Please be aware that in the event of an emergency, the closest exits can be found on either side of the auditorium. Restrooms are situated outside the main hall of the auditorium, specifically on the right-hand side. TEDx will also be sending out a concise survey via email to collect your feedback regarding the event, and we would greatly appreciate your prompt completion of the survey. Thank you in advance for doing so. Thank you and enjoy the evening. I would now like to call upon Mrs. Bojani to say a few words for us. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's truly an honor and a privilege to be present here for this wonderful TEDx event. After such an articulate opening by Dr. Tabassum and by Vatsal himself, I have very little to add to this. I want to thank their dynamic duo team, as well as all the DP students who have participated with Vatsal, all the faculty of Raffles World Academy and staff of Raffles World Academy. Big thank you for putting this together, and to Mr. Timothy Roberts. Thank you, parents, for organizing, supporting, and giving a hand, nurturing your wonderful children, who are our wonderful children as well. Thank you very much for that, for your always continuous support. And with this, I just would like the event to get going, because we really have an exciting event ahead of us. Thank you, DP students, for coming outside your comfort zone and speaking at such an event. And thank you also to all the wonderful performers here. I really, truly enjoyed their performance. Thank you, one and all. And most of all, Vatsal and Dr. Armina Tabassum for organizing this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Armina and Mrs. Bojani, for those wonderful words. This TEDx event gives a chance for everyone to speak their minds. It provides a safe place to share knowledge, experiences, and different perspectives, no matter your age. We at RWA are devoted to ensuring that our voices are heard. Before we begin our event, we will now be playing a short introductory video to the TEDx initiative.
Welcome to something special. Welcome to TEDx. This TEDx event is part of a global conversation that takes place every day in every corner of the world. In schools, in theaters, in workplaces, even in prisons, people gather to hear the best ideas bubbling up in their communities. More than 3,000 TEDx events are held every year in 170 countries. It's a remarkable thing. TEDx events are self-organized under a license from TED, a non-profit organization devoted to discovering and sharing powerful ideas in the form of TED Talks. It's not TED itself, but your local TEDx team of volunteers that has done all the work to put on today's event, including booking all of the speakers. It's this team's ideas, dedication, and time that have made this possible. We really hope today's program sparks an exciting conversation. This is a day for curiosity and for skepticism, for inspiration and for action. The more you enter into it, the more you will take out. And now, on with the show.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Yuvraj Mathrani,
And I'm Sanjana Kumar.
and we are your hosts for today.
We'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone present here today, whether it be for supporting family or friends, learning about new ideas or concepts, or just being here for fun. We are honored to have you here in this prestigious event.
Now, before we move forward with the event, we would like to take a moment to appreciate the support of our partners. Firstly, our prestigious radio partners, Talk 100.3, with whom we are able to distribute informed content, have riveting discussions, and innovative ideas with regarding sports, business, and entertainment.
We are also thrilled to unfold a brand new chapter as TEDxRWA Youth partners with the Mohanjo Foundation, named after the late Mr. Mohanlal, who served the Indian government pre- and post-British times. He was a social worker and a philanthropist who helped society with his everlasting principles of patience and gratitude.
Now, last but not least, we would like to thank InnoVentures Education, who have helped sponsor this event. They have helped over 7,000 students in over 100 countries to be in fantastic schools and nurseries.
We would now like to call upon our first speaker for the evening, Harsima Kaur Chatwal. She has a keen interest in mathematics, economics, and chemistry. Today, she will showcase how she uses her leadership qualities to stretch more and move further.
Please give a round of applause for Harsima.
It's on. Dread, horror, embarrassment were just a few of the emotions that were being felt that night. Yet, excitement, enthusiasm, joy were also being felt that night. The room was filled with students, dressed up in all sorts of different costumes. There were princes and princesses and butterfly costumes and Spider-Man and Batman and Superman. Any costume that you could possibly imagine. And all of these students were dressed in costumes that they loved, that they adored. But there was one girl. She hated her costume. She hated her character. She wanted to go home, and she had heard enough whispers about her ugly costume than she thought she could handle. And the only thing keeping her from leaving that storytelling competition was the fact that she knew that her tragic story was more impactful than the joyful ones that the other kids were presenting. Because she hadn't taken the easy way out, and she was not dressed as a pretty little princess. She didn't look like that, or that, or that. And trust me, she didn't look like that either. This girl was dressed as a poor old widow that had gotten all of her life savings stolen and was pleading to the king to get them back, for she was nothing without those savings. That was her story. That was the story that this girl was going to present. And then the time came for her to go up on stage. And as she walked up the stage, she could hear the whispers and the muffled voices behind her. Oh my God, she looks disgusting. That dress is honestly pathetic. What does she think she's doing, dressing up as an old grandmother? And this girl, she tried her best to ignore those comments. And she told herself, I've stretched myself this far, I've gone through so much pain and so much anguish to get into this character, I might as well just stretch myself a little bit more and just give my all on the stage. And sure enough, she gave her all on the stage. In fact, she stretched herself more than she could have ever imagined. Can you guess how far she got with that stretch? Any guesses? She lost her fears and gained her courage. And the name that resonated through the air when the winner was announced was none other than her name. And that's what she looked like. And she'd won the competition, and when she stood on the stage being handed that gleaming golden trophy, she realized that the trophy was not her real victory. Her real victory was the realization that if you do stretch yourself, you will move forward. And if she can, so can we all. Fast forward a little bit in time, the girl that you just saw on the screen is now 16 years old, studying in Raffles World Academy, and is presently giving you guys a TED Talk on stretching more and moving further. My point, if we want to achieve success, we need to stretch ourselves. It seemed impossible for that girl to even think about winning the competition. It seemed impossible for India to be the first country to land on the moon's south pole after failing miserably twice. All of those things seemed impossible, but we did them anyway, didn't we? Everything seems impossible at one point or the other, but you need to know that you can accomplish it no matter what. Limiting ourselves is our biggest unseen danger. But it also leads us to our greatest unseen gift. How many of you guys have seen a catapult? Have you seen one? You know how it works? Can anybody tell me how a catapult works? Yes, exactly. You stretch. Here you go. You stretch the string and the stone moves forward. You stretch, you move forward. And the more you stretch, the further forward you move. Now replace that stone with you, and then stretch. Do you see how far you can go if you just stretch yourself? The more you stretch, the further forward you move. Stretch more, move further. Stretch more, move further. And yes, we need to stretch ourselves to achieve success. We need to work hard to achieve success, but what happens when you actually do try to stretch yourself? How do you feel? You feel tension and discomfort, and you want to go back. Back where? Back here. Back to the comfort zone. And why do you feel all this tension and all of this discomfort? You feel it because you're stretching yourself beyond your limits. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. You're stretching yourself beyond the limits that you set for yourself, because you don't actually have any limits for success. And thinking that you do could be your biggest mistake. So once you let go of that mindset and you just stretch yourself, you move so much further. You now have the capacity to face challenges that once seemed impossible. Why? Because they were impossible when you were here. And what's this? The comfort zone. But now you've moved all the way over there. You've moved so much further. So embrace that stretch. Embrace the pain, the discomfort, and maybe even the tears. Because once you embrace all of it and you just stretch yourself, you will be so incredibly happy with how far you've gotten. There are people from more than 30 different nationalities sitting in this room, getting along perfectly. And there is one common element between all of us. What's that? We have all, at some point or the other, stretched ourselves to move forward to where we are today. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep stretching ourselves and let's keep moving further forward. Let's stretch a little bit more and move further. Ladies and gentlemen, stretch more, move further. Say it with me. Stretch more, move further. Stretch more, move further. I can't hear you. Stretch more, move further. Stretch more, move further. Thank you.
I'm sorry, can we have that louder, please? Thank you, Harsmar, for that extremely motivating talk on escaping our comfort zone to achieving our goals. Now, next up, we have Meher Purswani, who's on a mission to change the conventional definition of failure. She will offer fresh new perspectives that can help us accept failure as a key to success. Please welcome Meher Purswani.
Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be up here today. Thank you all for your presence. Have you ever watched a baby take its first steps? Do you focus on their falls? Or do you celebrate the joy of their first wobbly steps? Failure, something much like these stumbles, is an essential part of our journey. Do you focus on the tears of frustration and how you winced with worry and squeezed your eyes shut each time they fell? Or rather, that beautiful moment of joy when their eyes twinkled and they finally walked? Do you judge that infant for falling or encourage them? Because the question is, did they actually fail when they fell? Or, hey, was it just part of the process? As we grow up, we often become fixated on expediting the path to a destination of success, viewing failure as a negative detour. Today, I invite you to unwrap the unseen gift of failure with me. Imagine a time when darkness reigned at night, where the only companion of shadows was the flickering of candlelight. Now consider this number, 9,999. What does this number represent to you? Well, it is said that Thomas Edison faced 9,999 failures before there was light. It led me to consider if it was his failures that were his stepping stone to success. Even more, if failure is the lantern that illuminates our path to greatness. When Edison was asked how it felt to have so many failures, his response was simple. I have not failed 9,999 times. Well, I've simply learned those many ways to not create a light bulb. Edison sets a prime example of how the gift of success is enrobed amongst the gift of failure. I must ask, by chance, might you have heard of a certain someone who is on tour, scheduled to appear in 144 shows over 5 continents, with expected revenues of $2.2 billion in North America alone? You know that little phenomenon called Swiftonomics? Whether you're a Swiftie like me or not, you simply must have heard of all the cities delighted with a big boost in their economy, resulting from the power of Taylor Swift. Does this sound like the story of someone who struggled in her dark moments, withdrew from public life, questioned her identity, felt abandoned by the international community, and was robbed of her earnings by her business manager? She was tarnished with the trending hashtag #WeHateTaylorSwift and pondered, was this the end for her? Had she failed? What many may not know is that Taylor Swift's rise to fame is a remarkable journey of talent, determination, and strategic decision-making. She maintained creative control and maximized her earnings, and described this all beautifully when she explained that you need to give yourself permission to fail. What about you? Have you ever wished for a hole in the earth to open up and swallow you after failing your math test? Oh, the devastation, the anguish, the disappointment, they all seem to be at a peak. And I've been there. As an aspiring innovator, I believe that everyone faces failure at some point in their lives. But then again, what can one do in those moments? I've learned that having a growth mindset can be one saving grace. Proposed by Stanford professor Carol Dweck, she describes how people with a growth mindset focus on learning how to fail better, knowing that learning from failure is what leads to eventual success. This can be summed up in the statement, "I can't do that." Yet, imagine how different a place the whole world could be if everyone had a growth mindset. While failure definitely brings feelings of fear and self-doubt, it also fosters self-awareness, empathy, persistence. It keeps us humble and enables us to bounce back stronger. What many overlook is that failure can be the birthplace of growth and unexpected opportunities. May I ask you to close your eyes for a moment? Think of the baby's first steps. A world of darkness, but for Edison's resilience. 144 stadiums empty and millions of Swifties missing their opportunity to sing their hearts out. Most importantly, consider yourself facing a daunting climb up a mountain only to slip. Will you view that as a setback or a redirection? A curse or a gift? I'm inspired by those who view failure as a compass, guiding them to the uncharted territories of success, painting their way with the colors of experience. Look, success is not a pristine canvas, but a beautiful tapestry woven from the threads of failure. As an 11-year-old standing before you today, I firmly believe that failure is a gift. How we unwrap it is our choice. Embrace failure as a stepping stone, not an obstacle, and watch how it transforms your path to greatness. I'm Meher Perswani. Thank you.
Thank you, Meher, for reminding us that it's okay to fail sometimes, and we should use it to redirect ourselves to success rather than get held back. Our next speaker will be inviting you into the universe of cosmic mysteries. He's a potent member of the RWA Student Council and is always on the lookout for new ideas to advance today's world. Please welcome Vihan Deshpande.
Have you ever looked up to the night sky and thought about the countless things in the universe? I want you to think of all the planets, stars, and even galaxies spread across the limitless cosmos. Can you believe that all that matter makes up just 5% of the total universe? And that the other 95% is made up of things we can't even see? Good evening, everybody. My name is Vihan Deshpande, and today I'm going to talk about that other 95%. You're going to discover some of the answers to the universe's most important questions. The central idea of my speech is that dark matter and dark energy are hidden gifts which can help us unravel the universe's deepest mysteries. I'm going to talk about a hidden thing called dark matter, which keeps our galaxies together, and about a powerful force called dark energy, which may help us predict the fate of the universe. So, what is dark matter exactly? And why is it so important? This right here is our beautiful galaxy, the Milky Way. At the center of it is a massive galactic bulge made of old stars and a supermassive black hole. This galactic bulge exerts its strong gravity on all of the stars in the galaxy, making them orbit around the center. This is called a rotation curve graph. It basically shows the speeds of the stars that are orbiting around the galaxy depending on their distance from the center. The red line shows the predicted speeds of the stars. According to it, the stars that are just outside the galactic bulge should be moving the fastest, but as the distance from the center increases, the speed of the stars should be going down because the gravity can keep them together. However, the true observations are completely different. In fact, you can see that the stars are spinning way faster than they should near the edge of the galaxy. To explain why this is an issue, I'm going to need the help of my little scientist. So I want you to imagine that Yuvan here is the galaxy, and that these tennis balls that he holds in his hands are the stars near the edge of the galaxy. Thanks. So, did you see what just happened there? The stars that were at the edge of the galaxy were moving so quickly the second time that they got thrown out of the universe. However, the stars in our real galaxies are obviously not being thrown out, right? So, how are they staying in place? There must be some other sort of matter that is using its gravity to keep them there. Well, we clearly haven't seen this mass, and we can't interact with it either. That's why it's called dark matter. It's completely hidden from our sight. In fact, dark matter is so powerful that it comprises 27% of our total universe. This makes dark matter a hidden gift, as it keeps our galaxies together. Now that we've talked about galaxies staying together, I want to move on to why they are moving apart from each other. My second point is that dark energy is a powerful force that can help us predict the fate of the universe. We know scientists have observed the universe, and they can see that galaxies are moving faster away from each other. This is because space itself is expanding. I know that may seem kind of hard to comprehend, but it is kind of like this balloon right here. Okay, Yvonne. Yes, thank you. I want you to imagine that this balloon and its surface are a galaxy, are the universe. And all of these dots on the balloon are the galaxies within that universe. Now watch what happens as I blow up this balloon. you can see that the dots have moved away from each other. This is similar to how the galaxies in the universe are moving away from each other as space expands. However, the galaxies themselves don't change in size. This is because the internal gravity within the galaxies keeps them together. Dark energy is the force in the universe that powers this expansion. In fact, dark energy is so powerful that it comprises around 68% of our total universe. So today, I'm going to present to you 3 possible scenarios for the future of our universe, all dependent on dark energy's powerful effects. The first one is called the Big Crunch. This is where gravity overcomes dark energy, and everything in the universe collapses to a single point, called the singularity. The second possible outcome for the universe is called the Big Freeze. This is where the universe keeps expanding, but the expansion slows down. Eventually, the universe reaches a state of heat death, where everything in the universe is a few hundred degrees below zero. The final and possibly the most unsettling scenario for the universe is the Big Rip. This is when dark energy overcomes the force of gravity and spirals out of control. The universe keeps expanding and increases in its speed of expansion until even planets, stars, galaxies, and even atoms are ripped apart, ripping apart the very fabric of our universe. It is kind of like if this balloon here, which represents the universe, suddenly pops. This makes dark energy important, as it can help us predict the fate of the universe. However, the most likely scenario for the future of the universe is the Big Freeze, which is continual expansion, but without all of the nasty ripping apart stuff. However, no need to pack your gloves just yet. This won't end up happening for billions of years. So this makes dark energy really important, as it helps us predict what is the most likely scenario for the future of the universe. So, next time you look up to the night sky, I want you to think of the powerful impacts of dark matter and dark energy on our universe today, despite being hidden from sight. Truly a hidden gift. Thank you.
Thank you, Vihan, for that enlightening talk on the universe's mysteries. We certainly were drawn into a black hole of excitement. Next up, we have Vatsal Shah, the deputy head boy of RWA, who is not only academically excellent, but also a team leader who is dedicated to inspiring others by embracing the gift within you.
Good evening, distinguished guests and fellow speakers. Let us begin by engaging with each other through a few thought-provoking questions. If these questions resonate with you, please raise your hands. Think of a valuable moment in your life when something deeply moved you, like a wake-up call or a realization, and it inspired you to take action and make a positive change. The next question is rapid fire. Think of a valuable gift that you possess. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. How many of you associated that gift to a materialistic object, such as a luxury car or a branded watch? The truth is, amidst the rush of our busy lives, we often forget to pause and truly comprehend our true potential. The gift we're here to talk about today is not the one you can see or touch. It does not come with a shiny wrapping paper or a big bow. In fact, it does not even physically exist. Yet, it is one of the most important gifts each one of us possesses. My name is Vatsal Piyush Shah, and today I'm here to discuss a significant issue, obesity, which has deeply impacted my life and led me to discover my own gift, the power within. Having been acquainted with obesity for nearly all my life until 3 years ago, I have a wealth of experience to share. Obesity is not just an individual struggle. It is affecting communities and societies worldwide. Did you know that 39 million children under the age of 5 were overweight or obese in 2020, and it is predicted that by 2030, 1 in 5 women and 1 in 7 men will be obese. What this tells us is that the future generations are at a risk of facing the emotional and physical challenges which come with this crisis. I too have struggled with obesity, dealing with high blood pressure, sleep apnea, and diabetes. However, in the summer of 2020, I discovered my spark, just like how Spider-Man found his superpowers and Spidey sense. But the only difference was, I was not bitten by a spider. I was bitten by a reality check. One morning, I saw my mother in tears, and it broke my heart. You deserve more than this. You can shape your life the way you want. Her words cut through the fog of my denial, and her pointed advice marked a pivotal moment in my life. In those dark times, when the world seemed to be a cruel place, my parents became my source of light. Their unwavering support and belief in my potential became the guiding force, as everything else seemed to be clouded by the consequences of my actions. With their encouragement, I decided to embark on a transformative journey. Swapping fast food with nutritious meals, I discovered an inner strength. This transformation was of discipline, freeing myself from the emotional burdens, and ultimately realizing that change is possible. As I looked for answers, a once dormant force within me began to awaken. The journey from 140 kg to 75 kg was long and challenging. However, the unseen gift within me powered every step along the way. And the wonderful thing about this gift is that once unlocked, its effects ripple beyond our personal spheres, affecting those around us as well. Inspired by my weight loss journey, I decided to found Fitness Freak, a health and wellness platform that educates others to rewrite their health stories. It goes beyond just fitness, however, as it inspires individuals to gain the motivation in achieving any set target in their life. As the community began to expand, my vision for this platform evolved as well. When the followers count reached 1,200, it was not just a number to me. Instead, I saw a gathering of individuals, each with their own potential, each capable of discovering their own unique gift. And this led me to broadening the reach of this initiative, transforming it from a social media presence into a dedicated health website. Consequently, I witnessed the transformations and successes of those who benefited, And this made me realize that Fitness Freak is not just a community. It is a solution and a beacon of hope for thousands of individuals trying to break free from the shackles of obesity or the unfulfillment of their true potential and trying to achieve a more healthier and accomplished life. What this tells us is that combating obesity does not solely lie in external interventions, but within each person's capacity to initiate a transformative change from within. Similarly, the power to overcome obstacles in life resides within all of us. You just have to look around and find your own spark, which serves as the illuminating light and guides you toward your own empowerment and success. After establishing Fitness Freak as a flourishing health platform, I decided to embark on yet another adventure, capturing my transformative journey in my book, Rebirth of Strength. It embodies the spirit of change and gives a personal account from all of the experiences that I've had over the past couple of years. It debunks myths associated around obesity and tries to provide insightful advice from my anecdotes, with the hope of inspiring others to achieve their goals, lead a healthier life, and become a better version of themselves. So, where does this journey lead us to? To a simple, resonant truth. The deepest turning points and realizations begin from within. It is just about acknowledging that latent force, that unseen gift, and channeling it not just for your benefit, but for the upliftment of the world around us. With that, I would like to leave you with a profound note. Do not be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. May we all find the courage to pursue our dreams, believe in ourselves, and make a difference in our lives and the lives of others. Thank you.
What an inspirational and captivating speech, Vatsal. I'm sure we all have something very important to take away, and I hope we all have our Spider-Man moment just like you did. I would now like to call upon our next speaker, who invites you to join her on a journey through the delicate threads of time. She has a keen passion for law and politics, allowing her to see the world through multiple perspectives. Here she is today to show her perspectives to you. Please welcome Meera Shamsundar.
I would like to invite you all to take a moment and to close your eyes. Come on, let's close your eyes. And think of a moment from your past that brings you joy for a reason you can't explain. It could be a childhood moment, an important milestone, or just something you hold really dear to your heart. Now open your eyes and savor that feeling. Savor that feeling because it is something that you will never get back. And that epitomizes the essence of the unseen gift that we call time. In the busyness of our day-to-day lives, and all the hustle and bustle, I think we often seem to forget the one force that impacts everything. It's intangible, and it's ours, and all of us have it in equal measure, me, you, and everyone else in this world. And yet, we all seem to, well, equally take it for granted. Time is important, time is ours. And the reason I'm speaking about this is because now I'm 17, and everyone I see never fails to remind me, including everyone I meet, never fails to remind me that I am in some of the most stressful and important periods of my life, and that time is of the essence, and that the doors of endless opportunities remain wide open, and it's now all up to me. That is just a little bit stressful on the day-to-day. But as the new school year has started, and as I start senior year, all the teachers tell me that time is going to go like this. And I find myself coming to school every day and wishing that I could do it all again for the first time. To meet my best friends again for the first time, to sit in the cafeteria table that has seen all of my emotions, and to dance in the fields until 9 p.m., to relive these moments where I felt the most alive. As I get closer and closer to leaving RWA, I only wish for one more thing: time. And it can often feel like a bit of a cruel joke, because time is the one thing that keeps us moving forward in this relentless journey of life, no matter where you are. My parents often tell me that the sun will still rise in the east when I feel a bit down. The sun will still rise in the east, the world will still spin, and you will keep moving forward because time allows you to. And it's also time that gives you these moments in time, and gives you this opportunity to make a beautiful memory, and then it whisks it away in the wind as though it never really existed. And then it makes us all look around and wonder, where has all the time gone? And I think it's up to us to know exactly where all the time has gone, to slow down for a minute and to cherish time. And then comes the question, why? Why should I slow down? Why should I cherish time? And in our quest of life, I often think we find ourselves questioning ourselves and wondering, how will I be remembered? Will I be remembered? How will I make that mark on society? And I often wonder that too. Will I be remembered in Raffles World Academy when I'm gone in 6 months? And in our quest for significance, I think we must understand this profound relationship between time and legacy. Because a legacy is something that every one of us leaves behind. Good or bad, you're remembered somehow, somewhere for something. You are remembered. And in this quest for significance, like I said, time and legacy are very linked. Artists, visionaries, scientists, all of them have understood this finite nature of time and harnessed it to their full potential. And we must do the same. But time is not just for those, and legacy is not just for those who achieve monumental feats and make headlines and do these great things, because it is in those small moments where you can leave your legacy behind. I had a teacher in grade 8, and his name was Mr. Jones. Now, in short, he was the kind of teacher who made us stand on tables when we had an opinion to voice, and made us act out Macbeth multiple times to get the voices of the witches just right. And he did all of this with unwavering confidence in every last one of us. And when he left, it was during COVID, and I was in grade 8, and I sent him a message just wishing him luck on his journey. And during grade 8, he would make us write he would make us write stories and everything. He always said that I had it in me. And when he left and I sent him this message, he replied back to me, not something crazy. He said to me, "Thank you, Mira, and never stop writing." That wasn't something crazy. You didn't see it in the paper the next day, but it was belief. And it was belief in me and the skill that I possessed. And that message has changed me. He changed me, and it wasn't something crazy. So it's in those small moments where you have the ability to make a difference. Now, we all see this hourglass on the screen, right? As each grain cascades down, I want you all to remember that time is passing. And as each moment passes, I want you all to slow down and cherish it. Let it not be a moment lost, but rather a moment spent to its true potential. And then we arrive at the same question again. How do I do it? How do I spend time to my full potential? How do I spend the 24 hours in my day so that I know what I'm doing, and I'm spending time and I'm doing everything right? And it's the same thing again. Because when you think back on all of your years, is it the jobs and the deadlines and the stress that comes back to you, or is it those small moments in between? Is it those moments when you were walking to your car and you see a little kid, or you see a funny shaped cloud, or you have an inside joke with your friend? Is it those moments that comes to mind? Because for me, it really is. It is those moments that shape us and make us who we are. Because if you ask me who I am, like they said, I am Mira, I am 17, I study in RWA, I'm head girl, I am all of these things, yes. But truly, I am her. I am a mosaic of late night ice cream runs with my dad and funny jokes with my mom and Uno games that were awfully serious and books left unread. I am everything. I am all the love that I have given and received and the time that I have given with those that I have loved. That is who I am. So I urge you to find out who you are. What are your pieces of your puzzle that make you your own work of art? It can be messy and it can be sloppy, but it will make you your own, masterpiece. Because every one of us are. So I urge you to find out how you make your own masterpiece. Because in the end, it is only that you take with you. It's these 24-hour days that you have in which you can make memories. And those memories are the only thing you have. Because in the end, it is not the money or the glory or the diplomas that you take with you. It's the memories and the time that you have given and the love that you have received and given. That is who you are, and that is the legacy that you will leave behind. Thank you.
Thank you, Mira, for unwinding your moments of time. In a digitalized world like this, we're so busy with things that we often forget to cherish our memories. So thank you for reminding us to step back and embrace each moment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being such a patient and learning audience. We will now have a 20-minute break. Food and refreshments will be near the reception area, and we're excited to continue the show. I'm sure we all have a lot to learn. Thank you.
In workplaces, even in prisons, people gather to hear the best ideas bubbling up in their communities. More than 3,000 TEDx events are held every year in 170 countries. It's a remarkable thing. TEDx events are self-organized under a license from TED, a non-profit organization devoted to discovering and sharing powerful ideas in the form of TED Talks. It's not TED itself, but your local TEDx team of volunteers that has done all the work to put on today's event, including booking all of the speakers. It's this team's ideas, dedication, and time that have made this possible. We really hope today's program sparks an exciting conversation. This is a day for curiosity and for skepticism, for inspiration and for action. The more you enter into it, the more you will take out. And now, on with the show. Welcome to something special. Welcome to TEDx. This TEDx event is part of a global conversation that takes place every day in every corner of the world. In schools, in theaters, in workplaces, even in prisons, people gather to hear the best ideas bubbling up in their communities. More than 3,000 TEDx events are held every year in 170 countries. It's a remarkable thing. TEDx events are self-organized under a license from TED, a non-profit organization devoted to discovering and sharing powerful ideas in the form of TED Talks. It's not TED itself, but your local TEDx team of volunteers that has done all the work to put on today's event, including booking all of the speakers. It's this team's ideas, dedication, and time that have made this possible. We really hope today's program sparks an exciting conversation. This is a day for curiosity and for skepticism, for inspiration and for action. The more you enter into it, the more you will take out. And now, on with the show. Welcome to something special. Welcome to TEDx. This TEDx event is part of a global conversation that takes place every day in every corner of the world. In schools, in theaters, in workplaces, even in prisons, people gather to hear the best ideas bubbling up in their communities. More than 3,000 TEDx events are held every year in 170 countries. It's a remarkable thing. TEDx events are self-organized under a license from TED, a non-profit organization devoted to discovering and sharing powerful ideas in the form of TED Talks. It's not TED itself, but your local TEDx team of volunteers that has done all the work to put on today's event, including booking all of the speakers. It's this team's ideas, dedication, and time that have made this possible. We really hope today's program sparks an exciting conversation. This is a day for curiosity and for skepticism, for inspiration and for action. The more you enter into it, the more you will take out. And now, on with the show. Welcome.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you've had an enjoyable break. I hope so. Up next is Nirvana Pardasani, the youngest speaker we have today. She's a dedicated explorer on a journey to unravel the simple yet complex concept of happiness. Have fun.
I know you guys have just had your break, but did you stretch in the break? Can I ask everyone to please get up? Stand up, yeah. Okay. Shake your right arm. Now your left. Right foot, left foot. Spin around if you have space. Clap 4 times. Thank you. You can sit down now. Imagine a hot, golden brown, crispy packet of French fries. You can almost hear the French fry calling your name, saying, "Eat me, just one won't hurt." So you have one, then another, and another, and another, until the whole packet is empty with crumbs. Hi, I'm Nirvana from Raffles World Academy, and I'm 11 years old. So you're probably wondering, what am I doing on stage talking about French fries? Well, today I'm going to be speaking about a very overlooked yet simple topic, happiness. During the summer, I had went to Italy, and after 2 weeks of just having Italian food, I was really craving my comfort food, which is McDonald's. We finally found a McDonald's across the street, and when the food arrived, the smell of the fries was so good it reminded me of Dubai. When I took a bite of the fries, I had never realized how happy these fries had made me. So what I'm trying to say here is it's so easy to be happy if you're simply just aware. I conducted a personal survey on what makes other people happy, and as you can see, here are some of the results. Here you can see that majority of people voted other people actually make them the most happy. But there are a few other options on that survey as well, like food and drinks or activities. So I was wondering why that is. And after doing some research, I actually found out there's science behind it. The 4 chemicals resulted in happiness are dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical of rewards. So when you achieve something or you eat good food, you produce dopamine. Oxytocin. Oxytocin is a chemical of love. So when you're with people you love or you're doing something you love, you produce oxytocin. Serotonin. Serotonin is a chemical of calmness. So when you're sleeping or meditating, you produce serotonin. And finally, endorphins. Endorphins is a chemical of exercise. So when you're going for a walk or you're exercising, you produce endorphins. Like how I made you do that little warm-up at the beginning, you were producing endorphins. So I have everyone's a teensy bit happier now. Also, if you give me a standing ovation at the end of my speech, you produce more endorphins, I produce more dopamine. It's a win-win, don't you think? Wink, wink. But this wasn't the only reason different people voted different things in my survey. It was also because of the experiences they've had in their lives. In my survey, I had a variety of age groups completed. So maybe some of the older age groups would have voted traveling, and some of the younger age groups would have voted activities or food and drinks. So depending on the chemicals you release, you have different experiences in your life. So if you were as a child, you had more opportunities to achieve things, you would produce more dopamine easily. So my point is, it's so easy to be happy if you're simply just aware of it. There may be times when you're really sad and you may think it's the end of the world and there's nothing you can do. But at those times, you need to be aware of how you can be happy. But how? And if you remember the 4 chemicals and how they're produced, it may be simple enough to be happy. I want you all to go home today and think of one thing or do one thing that you can do to increase your happiness. It's as simple as going for a walk, spending time with your loved ones, or just eating a bar of chocolate. And after you do that activity, I want you to think. Ask yourself, what makes you happy? What is your French fry? Thank you.
Thank you, Nirvana, for showing us how easy it is to be happy, relating to a simple French fry. Now, our next speaker is a grade 11 student who's enthusiastic about business, entrepreneurship, and economics. She wants to be able to gain new experiences every day and is willing to learn. She'll be talking about the importance of having a mentor to guide risk takers like her. Please welcome on stage Dwani Mehta.
Take a moment to think about all of the meaningful relationships in your life. You may have thought of a close friend, a family member, perhaps a romantic partner. Yet amid these lies a relationship that may have slipped your attention: your mentor. A mentor is an experienced and trusted advisor, a guiding beacon who illuminates your path to success. And that is because finding a mentor is extremely challenging. But when you do, the possibilities are limitless and your potential knows no bounds. Mentorship is an intangible yet potent asset. It can be transformational. It is a powerful motivator that exceeds the realms of material possessions, one that yields immeasurable results, imprinting a lasting impact on an individual's life. To illustrate this, let us venture into the animated world of Kung Fu Panda, where elderly tortoise, Master Oogway, assumed the role of mentor to giant panda, Po. Picture this: Po, grappling with his identity, yearning to match the skills of his advanced peers. It is in that moment that Master Oogway imparts a simple yet profound insight. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is known as the present. And those wise words were his gifts to Po. That encompasses the idea of mentorship. It is words of affirmation, knowledge, and encouragement. A couple of words that encourage the mentee to take that leap of faith, make that life-altering decision, and cross the finish line. With those wise words, Master Oogway was able to help Po cultivate a mindset of peace and confidence. This allowed him to persist and work diligently. Imagine the alternative. Without Master Oogway's guidance, Po may have surrendered, retreating to working a simple and monotonous life at the noodle shop. In doing so, he would have forfeited his chance to be the Dragon Master, and most importantly, to fulfill his full potential. Mentorship bestows upon us invaluable wisdom, guidance, and encouragement, propelling us forward in our personal and professional journeys. And that is exactly what Mike Markula did as Steve Jobs' mentor. Under his guidance, Apple emerged as a Fortune 500 company in merely 5 years, making it one of history's fastest growing companies. Mike Markula, one of Apple's first angel investors, possessed a vision for Apple that none could fathom at the time. Had he not believed in the potential of the Apple II computer and in Jobs' capabilities, the world may have never witnessed the marvels of Apple's innovations. If you're holding an iPhone or an iPad today, that is thanks to Markula's belief. But his mentorship extended beyond mere financial support. He emerged out of retirement to craft one of Apple's first business plans and even hired the company's first CEO. Under his guidance, Apple soared from a young startup to the dazzling heights of an IPO, valuing the company at $1.8 billion in the 1980s. The power of mentorship is evident in Apple's remarkable journey, and it would not have been possible without Markula's mentorship. This leads us to an essential question. How can we find our mentors? Well, the first step is identification. Look around for people in your community that ask you deep, thoughtful, and incisive questions. They lead you to the correct path. They allow you to reflect on your decisions and view them from different perspectives. Great mentors often plant seeds of ideas that you can then nurture and grow. And ensure to embrace the constructive criticism and feedback without hesitation. If your cup is already full, no new knowledge can be poured into it. Open yourself up to the wisdom and the knowledge that a mentor can provide. And through my personal journey of finding a mentor, I stumbled upon an important lesson.
A mentor doesn't have to be some wealthy and prominent figure with a long list of achievements. It can simply be a senior guiding you through the process of college applications, or a friend who encourages you to try something new and step outside your comfort zone. I stand today not as someone who has my mentor figured out, but a traveler on this exciting yet challenging journey to find one. But we don't have to navigate it on our own. Together, we can exchange experiences, help each other out, and be each other's mentors. Remember, the transformation is your responsibility. A mentor is merely there to shine light on the path you need to walk upon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwani, for explaining how important it is to find our mentors in our life with your wonderful real life and fictional examples. Up next is Muhammad Hamad to display his insatiable curiosity of our universe. He's here today to take us through the beauty of math and how math makes the world work and aspires to one day be part of a great discovery.
Where's the clicker?
Now, before I begin, I'd like all of you to look under your seats and see if there's a printed piece of paper there. So let's get moving, everybody. And if you have that piece of paper, then why don't you raise it up high for everyone to see? Well, there's supposed to be more, but nothing goes as planned. So, if they were raised, you'd see the numbers 1, 3, 3, and 1. Now, these numbers may be recognized by some of you due to your early math classes. However, to the unenlightened, these numbers correlate to the fourth row of Pascal's triangle. If you look at the fourth row, we can see the numbers 1, 3, 3, and 1. But I'm going to move on because I want you to look at math as more than a triangle with figures on it. I want you to look at math as more than 6x squared plus 6x is equal to 5. I want you to look at math as the foundation of our universe. As every strong building has a solid foundation, every discovery and invention we make also has a foundation, and that's math. And Galileo said it best. Sorry about that. Mathematics is a language with which God has written the universe. Now, in order to explain this better, I'm going to bring up an example, something that may have happened to some of you. Now, I'm sure there's some people here who've heard of the term overbooking. For those of you who haven't, it's simply when businesses overbook, for lack of a better term. This usually happens in the flight industry, when airlines sell more tickets than they have seats. Now, I don't know why they do this. Maybe they finally let us sit on the outside of the plane. Would you look at that? They even give you a complimentary drink. Now, as fun as that would be, that's unfortunately not the case. Now, let's have a show of hands. How many of you here have missed a flight before? It can be for any reason, but if you've missed a flight, raise your hand. That's a large percent of you. I guess I should be buying you guys alarm clocks. Well, you people missing your flights is exactly what airlines bet on. You see, not everyone can show up 5 hours early before their flight or read 24-hour time format. And so, they miss their flights. And this data is saved. And so airlines can see this data, analyze this data, and once they do, maybe you'll tell them that, hey, only 90% of your passengers are going to show up for your 3 a.m. flight to the Democratic Republic of Congo. In which case, they start thinking, why are we losing out money here? We paid for the fuel, the food, the drinks, depending on the airline, of course. So they think, how can we change that? And they do that simply by selling more seats. Now, in the case that everybody does show up and they have sold more seats, of course, some people have to be booted off the flight. And there are costs to this. They have to pay for connecting flights, overnight hotel stays, or anything else that comes up. And so airlines obviously aren't going to bet on the ridiculously small chance that nobody shows up for their flight and they sell 100% extra tickets and earn a lot more money. So this is where the math comes in, with a magic number telling them how many seats they should sell. Now, let's go back to Pascal's triangle for a second. But let's take a look at the third row this time. 1, 2, 1. More of you may recognize this number. This is what we use to create something called a binomial. And we further use that to create something called a binomial distribution, which tells you exactly how likely a certain scenario is to happen. And in this case, it would be how likely it is for a certain number of passengers to show up to your flight. So airlines, they create this graph, they analyze the data, they calculate how much revenue they would get, how much loss, how much profit they'd get for every scenario of how many people would show up to their flight. And then they pick the scenario that earns them the most profit, whilst is also the most likely. However, sorry, cut that off. In any case, they sometimes only earn a few $1,000s. In the span of one flight, that's not a lot, but airlines have millions of flights, and that multiplies yearly. So $1,000 multiplied by millions of flights, multiplied by 2, 3, 4, 5 years, that multiplies to an enormous amount of revenue over time. So maybe don't miss your flight next time, or some poor dude's gonna get kicked off of his because you missed yours. In any case, I went on a bit of a larger tangent than I meant to with that one. I guess you could say I put a TED Talk in my TED Talk. However, I want you to look at math as more than just complex equations and triangles that may have numbers in them time to time. Because you see, math is a cornerstone of innovation, and it leads to a crossroads of endless possibilities and opportunity. Like Galileo said best, each one of us holds within us the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe, simply by discovering the foundation that it's all based off of. So as you leave today's halls, I want you to think of math as more than a mere subject. I want you to think of it as an idea, a concept, a gateway, if you will. So embrace it, for within its embrace, we have the key to unlock the mysteries of our universe. Thank you.
Thank you, Hamad, for showing us how important math really is in our lives. Now we would like to call upon the stage the Assistant Director with PwC in Dubai with more than 11 years of experience in research, management consulting, benchmarking, and more. He's here today to help us cherish every moment of our fast-paced lives. Please welcome on stage Mr. Gaurav J. Singhania.
I'll do a quick mic check. Are you able to hear me? Okay. Been a long day, long evening. Can I do a small exercise with you? Can I request all of you to take 3 deep breaths on the count? So first one, please close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, please relax. Go for the second one. Please take a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax even more. And this is the last one, which is the game changer. Take the third deep breath and relax completely as you exhale. Can we rub our palms and place it on our eyes? Great. Thank you so much for this small exercise. I wanted all of us to be up for this particular talk. You know, so when this subject came, the gift that cannot be seen, and I was discussing with Vatsal and the organizer on how to go about this topic, and I thought a lot, and then I came up with this interesting topic, which was the ability to gift is a gift. And in today's talk, I'll tell you how. I failed in my midterm exams when I was in grade 9. Shocked? You guys must be thinking, who fails these days? And that too in the midterm exams. Few years ago, yes, it was possible. That was not the first time when I failed, but definitely my last. Culturally, coming from a culturally rich background, you know, I had a big family, kutumb, as you say in Sanskrit, and extended family, as you say in the West. So I had my uncle and my cousin who lives in Canada now. They're elder to me, so they used to take in summers they used to take my lectures. They used to teach me mathematics, teach me science, and different subjects. And you know, I realized after a while that my parents had a different kind of respect for them. And I also kind of started admiring their role as a teacher. And then they say, you know, blessings come at the right time, and they're unseen. They come when you don't expect them to come. I got a mathematics teacher in the 10th grade. He was a young guy, and he used to take mathematics classes for me and my friends. And he wasn't taking those classes for us because he wanted to make some pocket money for himself, but also he wanted to bring the best out of himself. He wanted to, you know, have his grip on the subject. He wanted to excel in that. And you know, in the whole quest of this, he didn't just challenge us so much to ask a lot of questions to bring our, you know, best out of himself, but he also brought the best out of us. And guess what? I got a distinction, which is grade A, which is called A now, and I was amongst the top 10 in scorer of the mathematics in my class. I realized it isn't easy to be a teacher. Having a knowledge and disseminating it meaningfully are two different things. When I was in my class 12, I was aspiring for AIEEE, which is called JEE now in India. That's for IITs and NITs. And I tested this idea of you know, having the grip on the subject, trying to have my strong hold and command over the subject by taking classes for the grade 10 students, grade 11 students, and sometimes I used to take classes for my peers as well. And I got into one of the best NITs. I got an All India rank. I got into one of the best NITs in the country, National Institute of Technology. And then ever since I haven't looked back. This was my first encounter with the gift that I had not seen. The gift that of the ability to teach someone, ability to gift your knowledge to someone was my first encounter with the gift that I had not seen. And you know, there are so many gifts that all of us have that we don't see, that we haven't seen, we haven't realized. For example, like I said, I believe, you know, being able to teach someone is a gift. It has two parts to it. So gift of knowledge, if you look at your teachers, they have gift of knowledge, and they also have a gift to explain you what they understand very well. Donating clothes. Do you think donating clothes is a gift? I mean, it's the ability to give. How many of you believe in donating? You do, right? So if you have affordability, if you have that financial affordability to have something, to have some clothes, is only when you can gift it to others. If you don't have it for yourself, you won't have those clothes for yourself, and you wouldn't be able to gift it. Donating blood. If you're healthy, you'll be able to donate blood, right? If your hemoglobin is low, if you're not healthy, will you be able to gift? So do you think your health is a gift? How many of you think health is a gift? All of us. And you know, this point reminds me, if you're healthy, it isn't a gift. It is not just a gift for you, because when you're healthy, you are able to gift it to someone. But the other person who's receiving a form of life from you in some manner also is receiving a gift from you. Ability to donate money. If we have enough for ourselves, we are able to give some to others. So that's again a gift. If you are blessed with the financial capability, and if you're able to, you know, help some other people with their education fees, with their with their livelihoods, etc., it's again, you know, another part of this. And you know, when you donate money, or when you're giving some kind of cash rewards to someone, it represents that you have got two gifts. One, you're blessed with the finances, and the second one, you have that emotional and social responsibility quotient in you. Let's look at the most common common gifts around us. You've got parents. You're gifted, right? Do we realize this in our daily lives? We have got parents. We are gifted. We have got access to education. We are gifted. We have got house. We are gifted. If we've got a personal room in the house, that's again a gift. Some may not have it, right? Not a lot of people don't agree on this. If you're in a good school, you're sitting in a good school, aren't you gifted? Yes. Definitely. So did you even consider these as gifts before today? Before this talk? Did you think of it as a gift? Hello? Some no's, some yes. Will you be considering this as your gift after today? Thank you. And you know, we have so many uncountable and unseen gifts that we have around us. And you know, there's a small exercise that you could do. If you start accounting for every living and non-living thing that you have around you, just look at them. You know, you will realize that life has got so many gifts for you that you have not seen yet. There's a homework, sorry for this. Next 24 hours, especially tomorrow morning, when you wake up, observe every living and non-living thing around you. And imagine your life without them. Take a moment, start thanking the ultimate power for that everything that you have in your life. Because everything is a gift. Like I said, observe, imagine, and thank. And life will start playing very different. When you look at your parents next time, you will not see them as you will not see them as your parents, but you'll see them as gift. I was going to say ATM machine. But next time when you see your parents, you will see them as a gift. Next time when you see your teachers, you'll see them as a gift, not someone who's there to give you homeworks. Technology. These days, you know, we've got the gift of technology. And in fact, you know, we have access to every information. If I have to buy a toothbrush, what's the cost of the toothbrush? How much is it for? Where does it come from? Who manufactures? How many bristles? Soft bristles, hard bristles, etc. Otherwise, like back in days, people used to go to these chemist shop and look at those toothbrushes, look at the bristles and then grades, etc. Now everything is available online. You can compare the prices, and not just toothbrushes, mobile phones, etc. Everything. So technology has come as a gift. In age of hyper personalization, we have got everything literally at our doorstep. These days, vegetables, 10 minutes. I wouldn't name, but thanks to X, the startup, you get vegetables within 10 minutes. Isn't it? That's a gift. Do you think your parents and the teachers sitting here had this gift when they were your age? No. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, somebody would actually take the bags from the home and just go to the supermarket and bring it, right? So technology has come as a gift. Buy one, get five. What does this mean? You buy one thing from any online application, you get 5 recommendations. If you buy a toothbrush, they say buy this toothpaste. Isn't it? Now, that's the gift. You've got everything at your doorstep. You've got everything on your fingertips. Just on a click. So do we agree, all of us here? And I think we'll have to take this talk forward only when all of us agree. Do we agree that all of us have some kind of gift in our lives that we did not see before today, or we just saw during this talk, or in fact we haven't seen yet? Do we agree? Yes. Do we agree? Yes. Biggest of all is your ability to give. Biggest of all the gifts that you have, the biggest is the ability to give. Someone actually said, no one has ever become poor by giving. And it's Anne Frank, one of the famous. How many artists watching this talk, any painters, fine artists, performing artists here in the room? Please raise your hands. Do you think you're gifted? Even people who would be watching this talk live or later on, do you guys think, all the artists, do you think you are gifted? Do you think you will be double gifted if you are able to pass this on to other people? Right? Do you think there will be a triple gift because the person receiving it from you can also cherish it for their lifetimes? Right? So, if you are able to pass it on, it will be another kind of gift for not just for us, but for others as well. Yes, like I said, ability to gift is a gift in itself. Most important, how much of it are we leveraging? Now this brings me to a very important part of this talk. How much do you think this ability of, because just a while ago all of us agreed that we have gifts. So how much are we able to leverage it? Are we doing something for the environment? Are we doing something for the environment? Are we? Not enough. Not enough. Today we have plants, trees. That's why we're able to plant saplings. If there were no, we were able to plant new trees, right? So if there were no trees, would you be able to plant new saplings? No. Food. We are able to grow crops because we have soil and water. If we did not have soil, would you be able to grow food? No. So isn't that a gift? Are we doing something to protect it? Are we doing enough for the soil? No. Are we doing enough for the water? No. Or we are going against it? Yes. Right? So let's pause and think, what are we doing to save these precious elements of the environment? How can we give back? How can we give back this gift from where we have received it? Our ancestors did a lot, and I will speak about that as well. Don't you want to gift a habitable environment for your future generations, yes or no? Yes. Are we doing something for the society? I'll take a jump from environment to society, because we agreed we are not doing enough for the society, environment. Are we doing enough for the society? Today, we are able to celebrate festivals, relationships, because we have a society. If you are able to protect, are we protecting and passing on these cultures and societal values, respective cultures and societal values to our next generation? Do you think we are capable or we are taking enough to pass it on later? Yes, no? Are we? I would like to know if there are any people who are good at playing flutes. Right? Any people who can play harp? Any people who can do the cultural folk dances of their respective cultures? So, we are not doing enough. So the gift that we got, we might just lose it. Are we doing anything for our co-humans in their struggle for existence? Are we donating money? Are we donating food? Are we donating books? Of course, without making a big deal about it. Are we donating skills by teaching for free? There's so many ways. You got a gift. You can further pass it on. And this is the gift that we have to realize. Smudge yourself in the society. What smudge means, most of the artists would know here. When you have paintings and makeups, you basically make you kind of smudge them where you don't realize where a particular shade or a color ends and another one starts. So become like one. Smudge yourself in the society. There should be no me, no you. The boundary between yourself and the society should go away. Your relationship, your connection with the society should be seamless and effortless. And like I said, there should be no you and no me anymore. Are we creating people-centric technologies? So now from society we go to people-centric technologies. We are able to leverage the power of technology because the generation before us, or even people, the scientists and others who were working for last 5, 6, 7, 3, 4 decades, did a lot of inventions and the creations. Are we doing something to create people-centric technologies? How are we making sure that we leave technologies that will be there for benefit of the human beings or the humanity later on? Are we doing enough? No. Any people, anyone from this room who has thought of coming up with a innovative idea that can help people through technology? Yes. Very good. All of us should do that. My teachers, my classmates, friends, and class toppers from grade 9, they're shocked when they see me now, because they know a version of Gaurav Jaisingania who was in grade 9. When they see me now, they see a different Gaurav. And they're shocked. Sometimes I'm asked, what happened and when? How come there's an evolved, full of life, a complete human, an achiever kind of a person we have, who's not the same person who was in the grade 9. And whenever I'm asked what and when, I just humbly smile and just pass by. But there's a secret. Do you want to know the secret? Yes. Today I'll reveal the secret. I received a gift. A gift of knowledge, kindness, blessings, continuous trust, the feeling of giving, and maybe something beyond that I haven't seen yet. And I started giving it out. The moment I realized I have certain capabilities, I started giving it out. I started realizing that I was able to quadruple my capabilities by giving it back to the society. Friends, not everybody has the ability to give today. Your ability to pass on the goodness is your gift. See it, open it before the party is over. Feel as much responsible for others as much as you do for yourself. Always be a helping hand, an enabler, and a change maker. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gaurav, for that extremely motivational and detailed talk on how important it is to be grateful for your surroundings. Now, up next, we have a senior student on stage to talk about the revolutionary world of physics. He founded the Engineering Club and Funding Club, showcasing his leadership skills and encapsulating his strong academic drive. Let us welcome Hedi Fekfek.
To start, I'd like everyone to take a couple seconds and think of something useful. It can be useful to you or just a general piece of utility, and just call it out. That person right there, that's a great answer, my friend. It's okay. So, I also have the same answer. For me, electricity is such a useful utility. And what is electricity? Well, in its most basic form, it's a source of energy, the currency of our world. Now, energy can come in many different forms, just like fire, steam, and fission. These three phenomena marked monumental leaps in energy production, from cavemen banging rocks together to the steam engine kickstarting the Industrial Revolution, and the hum of nuclear power plants in our modern day world, each of them redefining energy. Each of these leaps have shaped the course of humanity for many years. They have influenced our present in both profoundly beneficial ways and at times with detrimental consequences, as we've sadly seen with nuclear power. Now, I'd like to take a minute and talk about our sun, the light of our lives, quite literally. It's been shining and exploding up in our skies for billions of years, pouring out a seemingly inexhaustible amount of energy. But where does this energy come from? Where does this vast reservoir of energy come? Well, deep inside the sun's core, there's a never-ending process called nuclear fusion, the invisible dance of molecules that power our sun. At its heart, fusion is a process of taking two hydrogen particles and combining them to form something new. Think of it like taking two puzzle pieces and joining them together to form a part of a picture. Now, this explanation sounds very simple, but in reality, getting these two particles to join is a lot harder. Why? Well, to answer that question, I'd like you guys to visualize these particles as magnets. Now, as many of us know, when we put two magnets together, they can either repel or attract. This same repulsion force happens in particles. So then, how do we get them to touch? How do we get them to fuse? Well, think back to those magnets. If you were to push hard enough, you could overcome this repulsion force and get them to touch. Well, you could do the same with particles. But instead of using force, we get them to move faster, fast enough so that they smash together, overcoming this repulsion force. Now, our sun is really good at physics and can naturally do this process. Due to its immense size, it creates an intense pressure on its core, which heats up the hydrogen particles inside it, making it move faster and faster, making them smash together and overcome this repulsion force we're talking about. Once it has been overcame, the hydrogen particles buddy up, joining and form into helium and releasing a lot of energy in the process. Now, to replicate this process on Earth, it's a little bit more complicated, but I'll not get into the details. I've bored you guys enough with physics. But I would like to note just one thing. We're at the stage where we're able to get more energy than we put in. Think of it like depositing $1 and getting $2 back, an investment. And fusion is the best investment you can make. It has all the potential for high returns and none of the downsides. Fusion doesn't emit any harmful toxins or greenhouse gases. If we're able to master fusion, it would be a significant step forward to combating the big bad wolf we call climate change. And to put into perspective how much energy we can truly get from fusion, just one nuclear fusion power plant could produce 4 million times more energy than burning oil or coal. Now, I'd like you guys to think back to the question I asked at the start about thinking of something useful. Would you consider nuclear fusion useful? Yes. Well, some of you guys said yes. But if some of you are still not convinced, I'd like to point out one more thing. What if I told you that the materials needed to create this gift is hidden in plain sight? What if we were looking out at sea right now, just in front of us? Would we think that the vast expanse of water in front of us could hold the key to such a gift? Well, it does. The main ingredient needed for a fusion reaction is found in abundance in our seawater. Not many of us would think that. Not many of us would just look out at sea and think it has such immense potential, but it does. And that's the beauty of our universe. Its immense power and potential is often hidden. It's in places where we don't expect. It's a reminder for us to appreciate and to look for the hidden gifts that surround us. At the heart of fusion, there's a never-ending dance of particles, the theater of the subatomic. The essence of our universe is in its ability to surprise us. Its most profound gifts and miracles don't unfold in the vast expanses of the galaxies, but in the minute realm of the subatomic. The brilliance of our sun, the potential of fusion energy, is all powered by these minuscule particles interacting and fusing. Think about that. The things that we just don't think about or we deem insignificant or just, it's just another physics lesson, have such potential. The purpose of this discussion and this speech is not to learn about the science behind fusion energy, but it's about embracing the philosophy it teaches us. The philosophy to observe, to appreciate, and to seek out the unexpected. Because the most potent gifts are often the ones that are hidden. Thank you.
Thank you, Hedi, for your wonderful insights on harnessing energy from the sun, especially when nowadays we need to consider sustainability more than ever. Now, I would like to invite our final speaker for tonight, a consultant endocrinologist and diabetologist with more than 20 years of experience in managing hormonal disorders and like diabetes and thyroid problems. He's presented more scientific papers at international conferences, chaired CME programs, and is also a motivational speaker and social media influencer. Please welcome Dr. Satendra Kumar Multani.
It is truly an honor to be here today. So most of you are aware of what is endocrinology. It is the branch of medicine which deals with hormones. So my journey with endocrinology started way back in 2001, when I went to pursue my fellowship in endocrinology at one of the largest and prestigious medical schools of India in Mumbai. I was full of excitement and euphoria because getting admission there was a very tough task. But it was ephemeral. Very soon, my excitement turned into trepidation. When I saw our outdoor patient department studded with loads and loads of people with diabetes, and on top of that, many of our indoor wards were full of people with diabetes with myriad of dreadful complications like bad wounds, limb amputations, vision loss, and heart and kidney disease. That was a very poignant moment for me, and it made me terrified and petrified. I immediately decided to look back and analyze my family tree. And I was astounded to know that I too was carrying those diabetes genes, because many of my family members were having diabetes and obesity from both maternal and paternal side. I realized that sooner or later, I too may fall victim to these morbid conditions if I did not do anything. That became the watershed moment of my life. And that day I decided that I will not sit back with an excuse of my genetics, but will try to find ways to counteract and mold my unfavorable genetics. I'm sure that if you also analyze your family tree, many of you may have family members with diabetes and obesity. Now, diabetes and obesity are getting rampant. And do you know that 1 in every 10th adult is diabetic and 1 in every 6th adult is obese worldwide? In recent years, I have seen a worrisome surge in prevalence of diabetes and obesity in people aged 15 to 30 years. And that is one of the most productive stage of life. You will be surprised to know that less than 50% of people with diabetes, they have their glucose control and other biochemical parameters under control. Now, here I'm referring to the commonest type of diabetes, which is type 2 diabetes, where lifestyle play an important role. As diabetes and obesity, they coexist in most of the people, we call them together as diabesity. It's needless to say that during COVID-19 pandemic, people with diabesity had the highest morbidity and mortality. In my more than 2 decades of career as a health professional and endocrinologist, I have seen many well-educated and wealthy individuals also suffering with serious complications of diabesity. So where is the problem? I'm here today to tell you 3 key findings of my more than 20 years of experience in this field, and based on my observations and experiments. And these findings will compel you to think deeper and will impel you to take care of your health more than ever. So my first key finding is related to habits. So let me ask you 2 simple questions. How many of you brush your teeth every day? Please raise your hands. All of you, that's great. The second question, how many of you exercise every day? Not the same number. Because brushing has developed as a habit, but exercise may not have. Human beings are creatures of habits, and habit is a function of subconscious mind. Our habit formation results from repeated conditioning of our subconscious mind to our family upbringing and atmosphere, our beliefs, our perceptions, and our surrounding environment. Our habits, they form our behavior patterns. And these patterns are saved in our subconscious mind, and these patterns may be healthy or unhealthy. And these patterns they decide the fate and future of our health. The lifestyle disorders affecting many family members of you can say these lifestyle disorders are affecting many generations of a family because of persistence of these wrong behavior patterns superimposed on background of genetic predisposition. In my clinical practice, I have observed two types of patterns. One is performers, which is 20% of people, and second is non-performers, 80%, majority. The performers are the people who create healthy patterns. They believe in prevention. And even if they are being affected by any lifestyle disorders, they do their best to take care of it, to prevent the complications, and to enjoy good quality of life. While non-performers are the people who struggle to change their patterns. So they accumulate more medications and complications over time, which seriously affects their quality of life. My second key finding is related to goals. So let me ask you, do you have goals about your career, about your finance and your family? Can you please raise your hands? Who is having goals? Very good. Most of you. Do you have goals related to your health? Please raise your hands. Not everyone. Definite SMART goals are required in each and every area of life to achieve desired success. Life without goals is worthless. It is like driving a car without knowing the destination, or playing soccer without a goalpost. Surely, most of us have goals related to our career, our family, and finance, but very few of us have health goals. So if you don't have health goals, you're not going to achieve and maintain good health. Now, when you have goals, the most important thing to achieve your goals is the defined process. And my third key finding is related to that. A serious scarcity of health wisdom. And that is one of the important reasons for an incessant increase in prevalence of lifestyle disorder like diabetes and obesity, despite having a revolutionary advancement and innovation in healthcare sector. All of you must have heard about the family wisdom, about financial wisdom, but very rarely about health wisdom, which is the rarest but the greatest of all. I started using this term 5 years back, and I defined it as an ability to understand the importance of good health early and using right information or knowledge to maintain it throughout our life. It also includes adopting newer ways or methods to change the wrong beliefs or patterns time to time by using consciousness engineering and creating new healthy patterns and behavior. Health wisdom has 4 important components. You can see here. The first and foremost, which is at the core of it, is the sound mental and spiritual well-being. And other 3 components are dependent on that. The sound mental and spiritual well-being is required to achieve perfect body-mind integration, which is a prerequisite to achieve great health. And sound mental and spiritual well-being can be achieved easily by practicing meditation, gratitude, forgiveness, compassion, and reflection for just 3 to 5 minutes per day. The second most important component of health wisdom is mindful eating, which has 2 parts, mindfulness and health part. The mindfulness part includes expressing gratitude for having food. Then eating your food without any distractions. That way you connect with food, and that makes you think and realize that what you are eating is good for your health or not. As we say, think before you speak. I advise, mind before you eat. The second part of mindful eating is health part, where we eat as a healthy and balanced meal as per our age, gender, our activity, and our weight. Now here you can follow 80-20 rule, where 80% of times you choose healthy option and 20% times you can choose less healthy options. And when you should ideally stop eating when you are 80% full. The portion size is the key here. Now I would like to give you one example. Many people, they like to eat burger. Now if you see the standard chicken burger meal has around 1,000 calories, which is too much to process at one time. So when you want to eat chicken burger once in a while, if you are sticking to chicken burger alone, it has only 300 calories. But when you add fries and cola on top of that, you are adding fuel in the fire, because those two together are more dangerous than burger alone. So portion size is portion control is very, very important. The third most important component of health wisdom is regular mixed type of exercise for 30 to 60 minutes. Walking alone does not help. We have to have walking plus stretching and weight training all together. Everyone knows that the lifestyle and exercise are the free and the best medicines, but easier said than done. In my clinical practice, the commonest reason for not doing exercise is feeling lazy, feeling bored. Exercise is boring. And the second is I'm too busy to do it. Besides having the regular benefits, the exercise has one very, very important benefit. It boosts the performance of prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for our complex cognitive functions and our creativity and our behavior. And I consider exercise as a perfect antidote for device overusage induced compromise in prefrontal cortex function. Now, the device use has become inevitable in our life, but we can counteract that with health wisdom. The last component of health wisdom is maintaining a healthy weight. This may not be the ideal weight, but at this weight, you can prevent the physical and metabolic complications of overweight or obesity. Now, practicing health wisdom can help us in bending our genes in our favor by altering the behavior of our epigenome without altering the sequence of our DNA, and that is known as epigenetics. And this can help us in escaping from menace of lifestyle disorders. The perfect example of practicing health wisdom is Okinawa Island in Japan, where people live more than 100 years of age. They are healthy and happy. So based on these three findings, I would like to suggest 3 steps to prevent the further spread of this diabetes pandemic. The first is we all must have health goals, like any other goals. The second, we should impregnate those goals to our subconscious mind and visualize and affirm and visualize them every day. The third, using health wisdom, the greatest wisdom and the greatest gift, as a process to achieve them. Bequeathing health wisdom to our children early can bring a paradigm shift in our predominantly career and grades-based upbringing to a holistic one. This can help them in creating healthy behavior patterns and can protect them from this sinister pandemic of diabetes and obesity. This should be done simultaneously at the level of schools and home, our family. The physical education classes should be mandatory till grade 12. In higher grades, you can reduce the duration, but don't discontinue it. Even 20 minutes of PE a physical education class can boost the creativity of children and productivity remarkably. And it should be a fun activity. It should not be a boring. Every day there should be different type of activity, and it should be made interesting. The participation in any physical sport should be obligatory. We don't want to create everyone as a champion, but this way we are creating a habit, and we are generating this belief that health is as important as other subjects. I see many young people suffering with these problems, and I really feel bad for them. In my opinion, the foundation of success should be laid on good health. And on that, you can erect the other pillars of success in form of career, wealth, family, etc. They all should go hand in hand to have a happy and healthy life. Yeah. Our children are leaders of tomorrow, and I wish them utmost health, happiness, and success. And I have a dream. I want each and every one of them to become a health crusader for themselves and for their families, to create healthy behavior patterns to prevent the further spread of these lifestyle disorders. To conclude, in my opinion, health, happiness, and success are not one-stop destinations. They are lifelong journeys. So let's make them our habits to live a world-class life. And I will stop here and will leave you with this question to ponder. And will tell you that if you want to live world-class life, you ought to have world-class health. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar, for that insightful and very detailed talk on health wisdom. And with that, we come to an end of our speakers session 2. It was indeed wonderful to hear all the talks of our speakers based on mathematics, life sciences, motivational tips, and really unpacking the topic of the unseen gift with a perspective that is unique to each speaker.
As we close this enriching session of TEDxRWA Youth, we find ourselves stepping away with a trove of insights and wisdom.
Indeed, today we've navigated through the captivating realms of mathematics, delved deep into the intricacies of the sciences, and been uplifted through transformative motivational insights.
Our speakers have masterfully unpacked the concept of the unseen gift, urging us to explore perspectives that were hitherto unexplored, fostering a deeper connection and understanding of the world around us.
Now, as we bid adieu, let's carry this ignited spark of knowledge and inspiration forward, becoming agents of positive change in our communities. Thank you for joining us in this intellectual voyage of discovering the unseen. Now, as we approach the ending, we wanted to give a quick thank you once again to our esteemed partners, Talk 100.3, the Mohandra Foundation, and InnoVentures Education. Your support has been the backbone of this event, fostering innovation and conversation across various platforms. You've helped us in shaping a future that embraces knowledge, empathy, and community.
Thank you to our wonderful organizers, Vatsal Shah and Dr. Tabassum, without whom this event would not have even been possible.
Now, before we part away from today's event, we would like to invite Mr. Roberts to deliver the closing remarks.
Wow. I hate this. I hate going last after something so wonderful. I feel like such a fraud. And I know all of you are just thinking, please be quiet so we can go, because the good stuff has passed. But I've got to bore you for a minute or two. I started off with wow because it really was wow. We've had stretching. We've had expanding in the form of the universe, or shrinking in the case of Vatsal. And when I came tonight, I thought, and I'll be honest, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm quite well known for having the attention span of a gnat. And I probably thought, I'm going to be bored. it's going to be a few kids saying stuff that I'm not interested in, and at about 5:05, I'm going to switch off. I didn't. I was riveted, I was enthralled, I was intrigued. But most of all, kids and mums and dads, I was immensely proud at what I saw on the stage. So I think we should give them a round of applause. The other element to it that I'm immensely proud of, the theme of tonight was the unseen gift. And I think we had two unseen gifts, actually. One of which is incredible, and the other of which you're going to help me with, parents. The first unseen gift was the kids doing this. That's the gift of the education they've received at RWA and the confidence they've had instilled in them over a number of years by their teachers, by their parents. It's not been specifically taught and delivered. And yet schools all around the world are judged on English, maths, and science. Schools shouldn't be that. Schools should be this. Developing kids who are confident enough to stretch themselves, to go beyond their boundaries, and to deliver something like this to you. A question for you, parents. How many of you, if I gave you 2 days' notice, apart from Mr. Foster, would dare to come up here and do what they did? Put your hand up if you do it. One. One hand. Now, either that's terrible on your part, or I would like to say it's wonderful on the part of the kids, because I think they've done remarkably well. The other unseen gift, to be frank, is those empty chairs. What I'd like you to do as parents, I've got a challenge for you. I assume you enjoyed tonight, yes? Yeah, of course you did. Therefore, what I'd like you to do is when you go out is tell other parents how fantastic these children are, and to drag them kicking and streaming next time to come and watch it, so that we can spread this unseen gift, so that more parents get involved and see the absolutely fantastic, wonderful young men and women we've got at Raffles World Academy that can put on shows like this. So with that, I'd like to invite all the kids up on stage one at a time. If Dr. Tabassum could join me, because we've got a small token of our appreciation, and then when they're all lined up on stage, it'll give you a great opportunity to whoop, holler, and clap to show how tremendously respectful you are of their efforts. Dr. Tabassum? Is there an order to proceedings, or is it random? Okay, that side, if you could come up, please. I've got to figure out where to stand now to get them to come on.
I must say that Vatsal, no matter how much claps you give to Vatsal, he is just phenomenal. What an inspiration to have around us. So proud to be working with him. Thank you. Muhammad Hamad. Well done, Hamad. That was an inspirational talk. I learned so much about numbers from you today. Nirvana, my youngest speaker of this evening. Fabulous. Well done. Meher Pruswani, another very young speaker. These children were selected when they were in grade 5. When Vatsal and I decided to host the event, it was summer. We were on holiday and we were both talking throughout the holiday. And these two are my youngest speakers, and they were in grade 5 at that time. So I'm very proud of them. Meera, head girl. Well done, Meera. You're leaving a legacy behind, Meera. We will miss you for that. Mr. Gaurav Jaisinghania, sorry about that. That was truly inspirational, Mr. Gaurav. Thank you for joining us and giving your precious moment to us. Harsimar. Wait, sorry. To go first is never easy, and Harsimar took that challenge and said, I want to go first. What an inspiration on the stage. Heidi, you've amazed us, Heidi. I never knew that you could hold people's interest with topics like scientific topics can bore people, but you did not. Well done, Heidi. Fantastic. Duani, another speaker in the room. How many of you enjoyed Duani's talk? I loved it. Vihan Deshpande, our scientist, he always picks on science topics, and I keep telling him, let's bring something personal about life. But he says science is his life. So we are waiting to hear one day that he will be the leading scientist in the world to come. Dr. Satyendra Kumar Multani, that was truly inspirational. Loads and loads to learn from you. Is he your dad as well? No. It is our MC's father as well, so deserves another round of applause for that. Thank you. Who else? Okay. We also have some certificates for our performers and our volunteers who have helped and supported us. I don't know whether all of them are here, but we'll just try. Is Alexander Chi in the room? Yeah. You can give him and I'll just call out. Rashid, are you in the house? Our drummer? From grade 5? No. Lev? Lev is here? Sanjana, a fantastic MCs. Deserve a round of applause for that. You really hosted the show well. Yuvraj, fabulous. He's our all-time MC. Vansh. Is Vansh in the house? No? Gia. Come on, Gia. You guys can move on to that end. It'll be better. Harun Azhar? Nope. Tiara? Zaina? Zaina, no. Dennis? Shail? Puneet? No. Ayush? They've volunteered enough, they've left. Taijist? Nayan? Perry? Ankita? Naisha?
Anyone want to buy some certificate?
Okay. All right. Yes, yes.
Before we leave, can we get a loud cheer for Vatsal because it's his birthday today? What do we say now? Thank you, everyone. Okay.
Okay, we're going with this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.